Dear participants, please join the session with videos turned on and audio muted. Participants are requested to ask your doubts at the end of the session by raising your voice or drop your questions in the chat box. Participants are requested to maintain the decorum of the meeting. Thank you. Artificial intelligence is a tool, not a threat. A pleasant evening to one and all present here. Myself, Kalpana P. from 3rd BSc, Christ College of Science and Management, host for the day. It's an immense pleasure to welcome participants from 26 various colleges in India and Russia to the second day international webinar on artificial intelligence and machine learning. If you're looking for God who is all around you, then every day becomes a prayer. Thus, let's all invoke God's presence through a silent prayer. Now, let's begin the session with the blessings of a beloved principal, Reverend Father Jens George CMI, Vice Principal, Reverend Father Eben Francis CMI, heads of various departments and teaching fraternities. Yesterday, we had a session on recent trends in artificial intelligence, tomorrow's world. Under the title, Significance of Artificial Intelligence, the Evolution of AI, Why is AI Important, Bigger and Better Language Modeling with AI, Anonymous Vehicle, and videos so on. And today, we will have the session on future projections of machine learning for young budding students.
To everybody present here, and a warm welcome to all my dear participants, students, young researchers, learned scholars, and faculty members in and around the globe. Once again, thank you, Kalpana, for your short introduction, and thank you, Reverend Father Jins George CMI, CCSM, and Reverend Father Eben Francis, the Vice Principal, CMI, CCMM, and special thanks to Professor Tangadurai, who has been the coordinator for this valuable event. Actually, I should thank the management once again for initiating a fruitful outcome on teaching, learning, and education. Because yes, we have been experiencing the third wave of COVID, but still our thirst for education, our thirst for research, our thirst for knowledge transfer doesn't end. So I wish we all fight together, stay globally connected, but stay socially apart and fight this COVID to the maximum while we take the knowledge to the next higher level. And especially with the blooming topics like artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, or maybe IoT, definitely our scientists, our young budding scientists, those students who have recently joined engineering department, who have recently joined science department, who have recently joined the academic programs in India, Russia, Philippines, several countries, Gulf countries, and so we would definitely be an eye opener, and definitely it might come up with several collaborative projects in the next coming days or maybe next coming months or so. Right. So can we begin the session as of now? Is my video visible? I hope it is clear. My audio is also clear. And I'm just going to share my screen. Is my screen visible to you? Participants, is my screen visible to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Right. So yesterday's topic was all about artificial intelligence. We had a a glance, a deep through about the cutting edge technologies, the metaverse, uh, artificial intelligence. When we go into it, how we can apply artificial intelligence in cyber security, how we can take AI video analytics to the next higher level, how robots can efficiently replace human beings, of course, in the positive impact. But don't be lazy, because even the machines can take our place at any point of time. So you have to be upgrading yourselves every now and then. The machines will take care of themselves. So it is high time that we have to switch over to the near future. So I'm not talking about a technology that is going to happen in 100 years. I'm talking about a technology that is going to happen within 5 years, matter of 5 years, or maybe a matter of 10 years. Like there would be definitely smart tutors. We would not see like human beings sitting over here to teach everything. So here is the topic: future projections of machine learning. So this is a subtopic of artificial intelligence. So today's session we will have a deep insight on machine learning, deep learning, reinforced learning for our young budding scientists and students. This is especially for you, my dear students, faculty members, scholars, scientists, and young researchers. And this is Dr. Christo Ananth for you. You can reach me at dr.christoananth@gmail.com. So before beginning the session, let me thank God for giving me this golden opportunity. I think you should all thank God for keeping us healthy during this pandemic session. As for me, as for this session, I thank God for giving me this golden opportunity to deliver this useful session, to share my knowledge among my fellow national, international participants, students, and young researchers. So thank you, my dear colleagues, my dear officials, the head of the department, Professor Akadav, who understood the need to initiate a fruitful outcome on teaching, learning, and education. And thank you, my dear colleagues and fellow participants. Thank you, Dr. Muthur, and all other colleagues who understood the necessity to support the session by a valuable presence. Without you, the event would not have been possible. So welcome you all for the second day event. So this is what we are going to discuss at a glance. We are going to discuss about today's AI, today's artificial intelligence. We are going to compare artificial intelligence and machine learning. For those young researchers who think artificial intelligence and machine learning are two different topics, I should tell you once again that machine learning is a sub part of artificial intelligence. And then we will have computer vision and NLP, natural language processing. What is the impact of big data over AI and how it is going to produce smart applications? Where are we today with AI? Because of course we are into AI. As I told you yesterday, Alexa, switch on the fan. Alexa, switch on, play the rock music. Okay, so it is going to come up very soon. And applications of machine learning in the education industry, and then process efficiency with more result-oriented analytical back programs, and then how we are going to revolutionize learning with smart tutors. Of course, we don't need human beings in maybe next 5 or 10 years or so. And I'm going to discuss something about a new concept: no-code machine learning. It is not low-code; it is no-code machine learning. And then we'll discuss something about the projections of tiny machine learning, tiny ML, and then auto ML, and then the famous open AI platform DAL-E and Clip platform. And then we'll discuss about MLOps, which is machine learning operationalization management, and then Kubernetes, and then full stack deep learning. And then we'll discuss about GAN, generative adversarial networks, and then we'll discuss about unsupervised machine learning, and then we'll discuss the difference between few shot learning, one shot learning, and zero shot learning. And finally, we'll conclude with the machine learning, how it is going to power into the future. Of course, we'll have short videos at regular intervals to discuss the knowledge in our topics. Fine. So I'm not going to discuss much about AI. I'm going to take you to the world of AI which is going to promise genuine human to machine interaction, because as you know, the electronic devices of today's world are becoming more and more intelligent in coming months, in coming days. Okay, they can understand what is our need, they can connect the data points, and they can jump to conclusion, which means they can also have the reasoning capability like us. They can observe very well, they can plan things accordingly. And let us take in the case, let us imagine a real time scenario. Let us take in the case, we don't have COVID right now. Let us take in the case I'm leaving for a business trip tomorrow. Now my intelligent device, which is nearby my bedroom, will automatically offer weather reports, travel alerts for your destination city, like how many flights are there, what are the precautionary steps I should follow, what are the safety precautions, what are the safety measures I should take, what are the things I should take in my bag. Okay, how about the weather conditions? Is it too warm? Is it too hot? Is it too cold? Okay, it's going to offer me some suggestions. And suppose like if I have some health issues, it is going to tell me, okay, what are the medicines I should take. And suppose let us take in the case I am planning a wedding anniversary celebration or maybe a large birthday celebration. My smart bow will help with invitations, how to plan things in advance. Maybe if I'm planning a hotel room, a restaurant, I can make reservations. I can I get reminded of picking up the cake at the correct time. Okay, maybe if I have some wine, some drinks, some good nourishing, health drinks as well for the people, some good food, sweet food. Okay, I can have them, I can get them reminded. Okay, suppose if I'm planning a direct marketing campaign, my AI assistant will be generally categorizing the customers according to the age, according to the groups. So they will be targeting, okay, this group of people needs this one, so they have to be advertised properly. And it will be getting the feedback, okay, the response rate. So we are not talking about the robotic butlers. This is actually what I'm talking about. It's not a Hollywood movie. Okay, imagine like we have been in 1995 or maybe 2000. It looks like a surprising horror movie. A surprising fact. But now it has become normal. Okay, it's a new normal. Okay, we are at a new level of cognition in the artificial intelligence world. Okay, so definitely we will get adapt to it very soon. Now, yesterday's webinar was all about artificial intelligence. Now we are going to embed this machine learning technology in this AI. So what I'm talking about is a mixture of philosophy, psychology, mathematics, statistics, and cognitive science. And this artificial intelligence is said to make computers more useful. It's capable of independent reasoning. Okay, maybe human beings might have tension, might have external pressures, but these devices, it is available 24 hours. Only thing, you have to charge it. Okay, so the historians trace the birth of AI to a Dartmouth research project, which was back founded in 1956. Okay, so this machine learning is not, or maybe AI is not evolving out of a sudden. Okay, over the years we have been experiencing, we have been extracting the problem solving techniques, we have been extracting the methods, the classifications. And in 1960s, the US Department of Defense has took an interest to increase the training of computers, to actually bring about the scenarios similar to the human reasoning. Even we have DARPA, Defense Advanced Research Project Agency, who's able to street map the projects back in 1970s. They will have some good collaborations, maybe with Flipkart, Amazon, Google, or maybe Microsoft. Several projects have turned up, and it has proven to be very successful ones. So as I'm telling you repeatedly again and again, machine learning and ML and DL are the subfields of AI. With ML, we are going to model, or maybe we can categorize the analytical model building. So here we are using maybe like convolutional neural network or maybe mathematics, statistics, operation research and physics in order to get the hidden information out of the data, and we are going to program it. Now our objective should be that whenever you come with artificial intelligence or machine learning, it should never be a coded one. No, the future technology should be a no code machine learning, no code artificial intelligence. So here we are going to apply the neural network, which is actually a kind of machine learning inspired by the works of the human brain. So as you know, the human brain is interconnected. We have like several neurons, billions of neurons which are interconnected. Only then it is going to perform the function what we actually think. So the similar way we have the neural network which is going to process the information. So it is going to process the information out of the external inputs we give, and it is going to relay the information between or across each of the units. So this process generally will be having like different passes, and then it will be finding several connections and then it is going to derive the meaning from the undefined data. Now comes deep learning, which is another subpart of AI. Now here we use large, huge neural networks. Here we have several processing units. So means it is going to consume less computing power, and the training. We have like supervised and unsupervised training as well to learn complex patterns. And here we go for image recognition and speech recognition. Okay, like the similar one you see in Google, like you say something in the microphone and it catches them and it will display the results. Similar thing you go with Amazon. Instead of typing, you go for speech recognition. Okay, maybe in the Google image search you give an image, then it will give you the similar or maybe alternate images as well. So this is all applications of AI. And then comes NLP, natural language processing. So computer vision and natural language processing are said to be the important elements of machine learning. So whenever you come up with computer vision, generally we have like pattern recognition. So what's in a picture, what's in a video, the machine is able to analyze, identify according to the connected points that we have. Let us take a very good example. Okay, like identifying a tumor in the brain, or maybe identifying a tumor in liver. Okay, so we are going to segment the liver, we are going to segment the tumor. So it is all about the pattern and the image recognition, okay, that we enjoy with ML. So when machines can process, they can definitely analyze, they can understand the images. Even when we try to input the real-time videos, it can interpret according to the background that is being set. And then we also have natural language processing. So we have computers able to analyze, able to understand, able to generate the human language. So just like yesterday's session, we had a video about how we are able to create virtual characters in a a virtual background even. So we are able to get a replica of Mark Zuckerberg, a virtual background of a Mark Zuckerberg in a virtual background along with his friends. Okay, along with his virtual friends. Okay, so the next stage of NLP is actually natural language interaction. So the way how I interact, maybe the machine is going to interact. It is going to observe. It is going to learn from the emotions, from the characteristics. Suppose if I am feeling very low, if I am feeling very down, maybe it will capture its emotions and it will answer accordingly. So with NLP, it's offering a very better opportunity for humans to communicate easily, just like a normal day-to-day conversation as well. Also, like whenever we are trying to inputting like several tasks, it performs on time. Now, whenever we talk about like machine learning or maybe NLP, we have the application of big data. Okay, so big data, when you try to implant this AI, we will have like smart applications. Okay, so over the years, we our main motto was connecting models, connecting networks, connecting devices and machines to the internet. So without internet, you cannot imagine a world as of today. Okay, so you can stream large amount of data from the devices, especially with the the natural language processing. Like when the machines is able to understand the computer speech, when the machines are able to make the image recognition, definitely our machine learning will play a vital role. So artificial intelligence is nothing without actually natural language processing. So that's where our machine learning comes into effect. Okay, so maybe as we have discussed earlier, regarding with the going to a shopping mall, identifying the products according to the ages. Okay, so we can get the recommendations like Amazon, like as I told you yesterday, like maybe if I'm trying to search for one particular product, let us take in the case I'm trying to search for a headset. Okay, maybe uh, Vivo headset, okay, or maybe a Realme headset, or maybe a Samsung headset, something like that. Okay, I'm going to get some offers like this headset along with a laptop, along with a speaker. This it is going to charge this one. So I'm going to get this artificial intelligence, general artificial intelligence recognition out of the searches that I try to make this one. For example, if I'm trying to um, look on to the information, okay, in the social media as well, I'm getting some advertisements. The advertisements is popping out at anywhere. Okay, even right now, as you would have noticed, whenever you search for something in Google, the advertisements comes first, and only then the search results comes next. So maybe there are chances that you might click on to the advertisements, and maybe it might benefit you. And where are we today with AI? With AI, you can ask some meaningful questions. You can even ask some questions that are suitable for a machine, and you can get answers like fraud detection, customer retention, inventory, sales, and so on. I think about one particular example. Actually, as you, I really don't know whether you know or not. Actually, I'm really good in myself, along with my wife. We do some miniature cooking. Okay, my wife tries to cook, and then I try to shoot the videos at my free time. So this has been my hobby during the last lockdown event. So we have been doing this one. So I was actually um, searching for miniature items. Okay, like a miniature cooker, miniature fridge, miniature washing machine. I'm trying to search in Amazon. I'm trying to search in the Flipkart websites even. Okay, I'm even with India Mart also. There's also a website. Okay, I'm trying to search this one. Even in Tata Click, even I'm searching this one. Also, I'm trying to search about some miniature wrestling figures, WWE figures. Also, I'm trying to search this one. Immediately, like I'm trying to get the search result, and after that I got the search result, and then I close the laptop. Like after maybe within half an hour, I'm getting an automated call in my mobile. Okay, I'm getting an automated call in my mobile, like you have searched for this item, whether you need item name XYZ or so on. Okay, I'm really surprised, I'm really shocked. Okay, because these things I'm searching in my Amazon, these things I'm searching in my Google, which is linked with my my Google account. Now it is going to smartly identify, and I'm getting an automated call via India Mart website. So this is AI. Okay, so the computer can actually discover the information you never thought to ask. Okay, but it will definitely offer a summary of your data, and definitely it will suggest you what are the ways to analyze it. Okay, so you can ask several questions and you will get the relevant answers even. Okay, but the thing is that how will this play out in the real world? Maybe in the healthcare industry, treatment effectiveness can be more quickly determined. Okay, maybe the add-on items can be quickly suggested. In finance, fraud can actually be prevented, okay, instead of being detected. Okay, but how does this AI work in the real scenario? Rather, I would say 70% it works, 30% it doesn't work, because our motive, our personal previous experiences are far much more than AI. That's what I naturally say. So AI or maybe a machine has to be loaded with billions of previous experiences. Only then AI will be a successful one. So if you can observe in each of these examples, the machine understands what the actual information is required, actually looks at the relationships between the variables, then gives the answer and automatically communicates with the options, with the follow-up queries, with the feedback. Okay. So we are thankful to AI because it is able to intellectually and intelligently get the machine level interactions as well. And even in the education sector, I can very well confidently say that machine learning has been changing. Have you ever imagined online classes? Have you ever imagined online exams? Have you ever imagined online courses being conducted maybe 2 years back? We never thought about it. We never thought about it. We are physically interacting, participating in a seminar, going for symposiums, conferences, workshops. Suppose if the conference is at like 300 kilometers, we take a train, we take a flight, we take a bus, whatever maybe, we go participate and then come. Now with the online mode, everything gets possible. And similarly, when there is a need, when there is a requirement, the systems adapt themselves, the systems upgrade themselves. We tend to adapt according to the technology. So we have AI driven assistants which is going to assist the education industry. So even the higher end universities are practicing this one. Even in China, I observe that we have this AI assisted learning, and this machine learning, with the advantage of machine learning, it is adding significant value to the education sector like never seen before. And this education industry will definitely foresee several changes in a matter of 5 years. And machine learning will definitely provide a system to learn from experience without being programmed. That's what I said. There will be a no code machine learning. Okay. So the companies generally will be involving new technologies. They will be practicing new innovations in education. Okay, and there will be several advancements in ML, and this trend is not going to back up. It is going to continue. And here are the applications of machine learning in the education industry. One such important application is predictive analysis. Normally, like in the olden days when we go back to school, generally we have a teacher who's very truthful. Okay, the teacher might have opinion about the student's future based on favoritism. I want to become a doctor, I want to become a lawyer, I want to become an engineer. Okay, so like the student, whatever he or she wants to, maybe the teacher understands and accordingly they will guide the path. Okay, so that analyzing, okay, that analyzing capability has to be imparted in the young minds who thought themselves they are not worth enough. For example, if I think I'm not worth enough to become an engineer, I'm not worth enough to become a doctor. Okay, so here comes the role of the teacher who motivates, who inculcates, who nurtures the interest, okay, the thirst for becoming an engineer, the thirst for becoming a scientist, the thirst for becoming a rightful researcher. Okay, so this is the work of machine learning. Okay, here comes predictive analysis, which comes into play and replaces favoritism as proof eccentric data. So by harnessing the complete and complex algorithms of machine learning in the education technology, the predictive analysis, generally it is going to make predictions, present predictions, future predictions, maybe after 5 years, after 10 years, how will this survive, how will this be. Okay, okay, so that's the scenario what we have with the predictive analysis of machine learning. So with the predictive analysis, students are likely to drop out or maybe score less than the bar can become the main focus of the teachers. So if the student is scoring less, okay, the teacher can work accordingly, according to the curriculum, the learning pattern, Okay, so maybe there might be a scenario that the students get depressed because of online mode of learning. Okay, now the system is able to intelligently identify that the students are getting bored, and they will be giving some interesting assignments, interesting scenarios, interesting ways that the students can participate. So the students, definitely they will not be dropouts. Okay, definitely they will not be scoring less. Okay, and with the help of this predictive analysis, it is going to assess several educational institutions, so they can come up with several innovative methods. And this technology, assisted with learning, definitely they can help the teachers. Even it can help the teachers in their self growth also. Even it can help the management, the authorities, to frame proactive strategies for the bright future of the students. And for example, we have Hamilton County. It's a media platform which successfully tracked students' performance. We have a software called SPSS. Okay, that's a popular software which is going to make predictive analysis. Okay, and it is going to predict the students' growth on track, and it's going to actually boost the graduation rate of the student up to 10%. So it's a good feeling that the students don't become dropouts, don't get bored, actually participate in interesting activities, and they can also contribute, and they can successfully graduate at the right time. And then we have process efficiency with more result oriented analytics backed programs. As I told you in the yesterday's webinar, like for example, if you're normally running a YouTube channel, normally running a company, normally running an industry, it will not fetch you the right way. But if you have some analytics, okay, how you are performing, how you are actually performing with the help with the in comparison with the competitors, definitely it will have some positive backup. Okay, the tasks that you have to do, what are the objectives, what are the ways that you can actually focus, how you can impart the knowledge to the masses. So this you can give it to the students. Okay, so the students, when they try to get this information, they will be actively contributing, not as an individual but as a teamwork. They will be doing that. And this machines powered by AI and ML have taken over the load by systematically organizing the content and managing the entire activities relating both to the teaching activities as well as to the students. And then comes a new platform called as Netix Learning. This is where education has to be imparted with, and this is actually an application of ML, machine learning, which is going to bridge the gap between the students and the teachers. So the student doesn't have to run behind the teachers for notes or maybe materials or maybe online stuff also. There based on the schedules, based on the student and the teachers routine schedules, Netix Learning is actually a machine learning platform which helps the tutors design the curriculum for the day. Okay, so it becomes an interesting way to actually decide. So they will have some plans, strategic plans, like they will be including videos, they will be including teaching, they would be including practice sessions, they would be including internships, workshops, conferences, symposiums, short-term training programs, long-term training programs, assignments, okay, independent works, okay, and even discussion forums or portals even. So this machine learning application helps to dynamically reduce the administrative burden. So it can help the students and teachers focus on what it really matters, and it introduces interactive learning. Okay, it introduces cooperative learning methods. So definitely it will come up with several new ideas. And as I told you, if you are going to be lazy, smart tutors are going to take your place. This is especially for you, my dear teachers and faculty members. So here the traditional lectures are distant entities from practicality and real world implications. So there is there is less chance of renovation even. But now with machine learning, everything is very easy. Smart tutors is a quintessential development that is slowly and steadily making its mark in the world of education. So lectures, are transformed into digital information, video tutorials, flashcards, memory cards, smart guides, educational apps in your mobile, okay, assessment, quizzes. For example, you would have heard about a website called Kahoot, K-A-H-O-O-T, Kahoot. It's a very popular platform where you can conduct online quizzes, and matter of time you can answer them, and then the students and teachers get 24/7 accessibility for the virtual education sources. So that's the reason where we try to implement Moodle platform. But what I'm talking about is far better than Moodle platform. Okay, so the smart tutor system is going to come up, and it is going to come up in the form of the virtual tutors. So every institution will have the application of machine learning in the form of smart tutors. So there are several organizations which are using AI. I think you should have a note of this one. I would rather ask you participants to kindly have a look on these platforms, especially in the educational technology, especially in the classrooms, especially in the educational institutions of the developed nations. They are following this strategy. Like we have Nuance, we have Newton, Cogni, Quarium, Century Tech, KidSense, Carnegie Learning, and Quizlet. So these are the popular platforms. I repeat once again: Nuance, Newton, Cogni, Quarium, Century Tech, KidSense, Carnegie Learning, Quizlet. Okay, maybe you can take a screenshot of it. Okay, maybe it is definitely useful, and we have to adapt to this platform in order to enhance the uh, the machine learning in AI. For those guys, maybe like 2 years back, we never thought about Google Classroom. We never thought about Zoom platform. We never thought about Google Meet. We never thought about GoToMeeting. Okay, Live Meet. We never thought about. Now we are adapting everything. Okay, same thing happens with AI and ML as well. Now, a future focus should be from low code machine learning to no code machine learning. Okay, so machine learning is handled and set up using computer code. So, no code machine learning is a way of programming machine level uh, learning applications. So, it requires pre processing, it requires analysis, planning, designing algorithms, collecting data, storing the information, deployment, and then taking it to use. Okay, so one such advantages of no code machine learning is quick implementation, because machines can easily understand, machines can actually spend time on planning, on getting the results. Actually, much of the time is being spent on the machine to understand what is our need. But now machine learning with no code can actually understand things faster. It can plan things very fast, even to develop the scenario what we actually visualize. And then it is going to come up with low cost. And just as we imagine telephones, okay, long back we had a telephone, we will dial it one, for example, 99812, and then only after dialing all these 10 numbers, only after we pick up this dial, only then we'll hear the ringing sound, and only after they take we will hear the voice. Okay, but now it has become handy. Earlier telephones, it is very costly. Okay, we have to set up fiber optic cable, everything we have to set up, only then the connection becomes at ease. Now everything becomes handy, everything becomes cheap. Every mobile owner has come up with several cheap ways to publicize items. Same way machine learning, same way artificial intelligence will come up within the next 5 years. And simplicity, as I told you, no code ML is going to be ease. We are going to have no code machine learning, which uses the drag drop inputs to simplify the process. And what is going to do, first of all, it is going to begin with the user behavior data. According to the information we feed, it is going to drag and drop the training data, use a question in plain English, it is going to evaluate the results, and then it will give you the prediction analysis report. So with no code machine learning and algorithms, it's a best choice for smaller companies even who will have less budget to maintain the team of data scientists. So no code machine learning is a very good choice even for making predictions, for making several advancements and developments. So here in the world where we try to implement this AI ML in IoT, now comes tiny ML, where it is actually a mix. Okay, so this large scale machine learning applications, we come to know that its usability is limited, but still, smaller scales are actually necessary. So that's the reason we try to actually run the small scale machine learning programs in the IoT devices. We can achieve low latency, low power consumption, even low required bandwidth even, and you can still ensure user privacy, authentication and security as well. But this data doesn't have to be sent to the data processing center, but still, the latency, the bandwidth, the power consumption is greatly reduced. So even with the case of application of tiny ML, we can use this in industrial centers, healthcare, uh, you know companies, even in agriculture, even in monitoring the crops, without the human personnel. We can actually employ this tiny ML technology. So as you see in the image, it's very small. That's the reason you can track, you can make predictions on the collected data. We have a very famous project called Solar Scare Mosquito. It's a IoT project which uses tiny ML to measure the presence of mosquitoes in real time. So that's a huge project. Okay, so it can generate early warning systems for disease epidemics from mosquitoes. Earlier during the days when we were suffering from malaria, actually, I think this technology definitely would have been used. Now comes AutoML. AutoML aims to make building machine learning applications more accessible for developers. And since machine learning has come up increasingly more useful in various industries, off-the-shelf solution has come up in huge demand. And AutoML, okay, automatic machine learning, is actually bridging the gap, okay, that machine learning applications might not reach. And these data scientists who work on this machine learning projects, generally they will be developing features, they will be developing models, designing neural networks if deep learning is involved. And this AutoML, that's a huge advantage. It provides simplification through the use of templates. And we have a new technology called AutoGluon. Okay, so this is off the shelf one-stop solution for text, image and tableau data. So we are going to do the prototype core deep learning solution, and you're going to get the prediction without the need for data science experts. So it's going to replace the manual labor, and the chances that the human error is no more. Okay, so we can greatly reduce the human error. And since AutoML, exactly automates much of the label process, so the risk of human error is very less, so labor cost is less, so which means the personnel are going to be replaced by AutoML technology. Still, with the AutoGluon, it has become very cheaper and it is very handy, easy to access device. This is a very interesting technology with the open AI platform. It is DAL-E and Clip. So these two models combine text and images to create new visual designs from a text-based description. Okay, like if you see in the image over here, in the curved portion we have a cube with texture of cloud. Some information is there. Okay, so according to this information, it is going to visualize. Okay, it is more going to picturize. Okay, data into an image. So one of these examples is how the models can be used to generate images based on the input description. For example, let us take in the case armchair in the shape of an avocado. Okay, so this technology has several applications. It is going to take the SEO, create mockups of new products, and quickly generate the product ideas. Okay, so this is a very good application, and it has found huge interest among the people. And also we have like MLOPs, machine learning operational management. So it's a practice of developing machine learning software solutions with a focus on reliability and efficiency. So even in small scale, large scale, collaborative businesses, we use MLOPs. So this machine MLOPs with AI, definitely it can assist the traditional platform. Okay, like we have a new formula that combines machine learning systems development and ML systems deployment. Even we have like several degrees of automation. So it's going to have the advantage of the DevOps discipline. So this is actually the process that is going to take place in MLOPs. So what it's going to do, it is going to understand the ML system's life cycle, and then it is going to design a model based on the business goals and objectives. It is going to acquire, process, prepare the data for the machine learning model, and then it's going to train the model. We have supervised learning, unsupervised learning as well, and it is going to validate, it is going to check the machine learning model, it is going to deploy the software solution with the integrated model, and then it is going to monitor and then restart the process to improve the machine learning model. So everything comes with planning, working on the objectives, training, checking, and then restarting it for better performance. So this is actually the scenario that is taking place in MLOPs. We have machine learning models, we have the machine level orchestration, machine level learning health, business impact, model governance, and continuous integration development. So this comes as a collaboration cycle, and then according to the business values, we are getting the outputs. So there are several advantages of MLOPs. Of course, you should be having a keynote whenever you are thinking about machine learning. MLOPs are a very great advantage, and small data science teams definitely will be bridging the gaps in the internal communication as well. We can have data relevancy. That's the major advantage of machine learning. Feature creation, cleaning, finding the appropriate cloud service host, you know testing for consistency, testing for reliability even, and MLOPs can be a great solution for small scale, medium scale, and large scale industries. Now comes an interesting topic, Kubernetes. Okay, so this is a DevOps tool that has proved to be efficient for allocating hardware resources for AI ML workloads, even in memory, CPU, GPU, and storage. Kubernetes is an auto scaling platform. It is going to give the real time computing resources optimization. So even in the AI projects, we are using this Kubernetes. Okay, this is a very useful platform in AI, and definitely for those who understand machine learning, I think you should go with the full stack deep learning. So full stack deep learning is all about imagining. Let us take in the case we have a highly qualified deep learning engineers who have created some deep learning model. So maybe after the creation of the deep learning model, it's actually like not connecting a few files to the outer world. Okay, so what we have to do, we have to create a backend on a cloud, we have to design a mobile application, and then we should go with some cutting edge devices like Raspberry Pi, or maybe NVIDIA Jetson Nano, and so on. Okay. So this is actually how you try to implement these technologies. Okay, how you are going to connect it aptly to the public as well. So this is how the full stack deep learning acts. We are shipping the model to the users, and then how the shipping the model takes place is, first of all, you have to bring about this deep learning theory. We have to embed the mathematics, we have to embed the computer science, and then you are going to go with the training model. Here we are going to go with the deep learning model, and then only you can ship the model to the users. Okay, so it's how you plan for an entire project. Okay, like a mini level project, how you are going to transform this mini level project into a open-ended larger level project where you will have like full stack deep learning projects. And then comes GAN, generative adversarial networks. As in the image, as you see, it is actually producing, good efficient solutions for differentiating across different kinds of images. For example, these sets of images look quite similar. Okay, the way of expression is similar, the pattern of haircut is similar. Okay, you know this way of expression is similar, this way is similar, this way is similar. Okay, so this is generative neural networks which produces samples that must be checked by the discriminative networks, and they will toss out the unwanted generated content. Okay, so this generated adversarial networks generally offer checks and balances to process and increase the accuracy and reliability, and you should have a discriminative model. Okay, uh, to actually categorize it according to the facial expression. Okay, according to the algorithm it is following. Okay, so it is going to focus on the categories, and it is going to distribute the joint probability function according to the expressions that we generate. And then we have, of course, you would have known about this one. For those of you who are familiar with machine learning, you will know about supervised, unsupervised, and reinforced learning. Okay, so this is unsupervised machine learning. As in the image, if you see, like you have three fruits. Okay, right? So you have three fruits. Okay, one in red color, one in yellow color, and one in green color. Okay, so you can do it in either way, maybe apple, orange, or maybe any green color fruit. Okay, so this brain or the model is going to process it, and it is going to categorize like two apples, and then we have four oranges or maybe lemon. Okay, and then three green color fruits. Okay, so it's all about unsupervised machine learning, so we don't have anybody to supervise. Okay, so it's a trend that shows promise for various industries, and with unsupervised learning, data scientists are finding a huge benefit of feeding this information into the system, and it is not being supervised, and it is going to get the selected output accordingly. Okay, so we needn't have anybody to supervise. Okay, so this is unsupervised machine learning which focuses on unlabeled data. Without guidance from the data scientists, unsupervised machine learning programs can jump to conclusion. They can understand the student data structures, and they can categorize the information. They can make the decision making on their own automatically, not semi-automatically but automatically. Okay, so this is how the clustering process acts. We are going to group the data points, and we are going to understand the data sets even, and we are going to match the data patterns so as to accurately get the result. And next we have the reinforced learning, the machine learning system from the previous experiences, direct experiences from the current environment. It is going to come up with reinforced learning. So where we can have a reward system as well as a punishment system even to assign a value from the observation, and the system will want to achieve the highest level of reward or value. Generally will be taking the positive reinforcement. Okay, so since it is captured from the random actions from the current environment, generally chances that it might take some unsafe decisions even. So that's the major disadvantage of the reinforced learning. But still, with reinforced learning, there is safer reinforcement learning systems as well, which is going to take safety as the prime criteria. With the few shot learning, we are going to focus on limited amount of information. So which means that our the information is limited, but with regards to application, we have a huge area like classifying images, getting the facial recognition, and we can classify text even. Okay, so here comes the data sets. We have like classes with many samples and classes with few samples. Okay, but the classifier is able to intelligently classify according to the data set is being fed. So according to the few examples, few data that is being fed, it is going to intelligently classify, and this model is very helpful, and it cannot be used for extremely complex solutions. So that's a smallest disadvantage of the few shot learning. Right. So then we have like one-shot learning, which is using very less data, even lesser data than the few-shot learning, but it is very useful application for facial recognition. Okay. For example, here we have two images. One-shot learning model categorizes it as very similar. Okay. So one could compare a provided passport ID photo to the one which we are actually catching in the camera. Okay. Even I had a online, we have like several online platforms even, so it will ask you the ID proof of the photograph, and even it will take a photo out of it and it will match it whether it is correct or not. Okay, so if it is correct means it will take into further more steps. Okay, so this is an application of one-shot learning, and this only requires data that is already present and it does not need a large database of information. And next comes zero-shot learning. It's a confusing topic, but without any data, how can machine learning algorithms act? So that's a question of debate. So zero-shot machine learning systems observe a subject and use information about that object to predict what classification they might fall into. Okay, um, I would rather relate this with one scenario. Okay, we have a website that is using this now machine learning technology. Actually, what I do whenever I index these research articles, okay, I do it in Google Scholar, I do it in LinkedIn, I do it maybe like a slide share, I do it in ResearchGate, I do it in ISSUU, something like I do it in several platforms. And there was one platform called ResearchGate where I try to index all my research papers. Okay, and maybe after indexing the research article, maybe like after maybe 1 month or so, maybe after 2 months or so, I might get a notification. Your article entitled, the name of the article, has got this much number of readers, or maybe this article is the top 5% articles being read in ResearchGate. So something like that, if I'm getting a notification, I'm alarmed. I'm really surprised to see how this machine learning acts. Okay, but because this technology is huge, because I have indexed the research article. Now the research article is getting too much readers. Several are there in this area. Several are there to collaborate. They have taken some contents out of it. They have included these contents in their future research papers. Now my article becomes more cited. Now my idea looks more collaborative. Now several have come up in the messages section like, can we collaborate for this project? Can we collaborate for this one? Okay, so this is how machine learning applies to, and this is actually an application of a zero-shot learning. Okay, this is actually possible for humans even. For example, a human who have never seen a tiger before, but maybe he has seen a house cat, would probably identify the tiger as some kind of feline animal. Okay, so although these objects, observed objects are not seen during the training, machine learning algorithm can still classify observed objects into categories. Okay, still we can effectively do this image classification even, we can effectively do this object identification even, and you can do this NLP and several tasks even with zero-shot. So this is how you categorize information in the zero-shot learning. Okay, so here we have color. Okay, maybe you are given some information: color, multicolor, beak, strong and curved, leg, strong. Okay, now with this I'm trying to picturize. Okay, maybe it's a colorful animal. Okay, a colorful bird. Okay, a colorful pigeon. Okay, color gray, beak short, leg also short. Okay, I'm thinking it as a pigeon. Okay, color black, beak heavy, leg muscular. Maybe I'm thinking it as an eagle. Okay, so this is how you are making or jumping to conclusions out of the ideas I try to get. Okay, right. So this is the application of machine learning, what we call to be zero-shot learning. So machine learning, I would rather summarize, it's going to power into the future, and with data science and machine learning taking a huge march forward, industries are becoming more advanced by the day, and in some cases this has made the technology to remain more competitive. And utilizing the machine learning, you can make constructive projects, even we can innovate, we can achieve goals, especially even this pandemic. Even we even there are several countries where the share market hasn't dropped even in the pandemic, and thanks to the AI and machine learning, because we have been marching very fast these days, these coming months, and these coming years as well. So out of this, the webinar, these 2 days of webinar, I'm sure you would have got some insights, many insights about artificial intelligence, open AI platform, um, several analytics tools as well. We had like metaverse, we had like unsupervised, supervised, reinforced learning, Kubernetes. Okay, we have GAN, generative adversarial networks even. As I've told you yesterday, and I shall repeat it once again today, I'm kindling maybe 1% interest in you. The rest is up to you to analyze. And I'm I feel very sad that people of today. I wouldn't blame everybody. Some students, some people maybe come for the webinars just for the sake of certificate. I think this idea should be changed. Whenever you come up with a webinar, it should be a collaborative idea. Okay, so maybe like there are maybe like 150, 130, 150 participants over here. Okay, so several would have come up, with several institutions, and this is the right platform where we can actually collaborate, we can come up with new ideas, and even the government, even the regional society, even the state government, regional government, the national, international government as well is funding some good amount of money for collaborative projects as well. And I would rather request the students, scholars, young researchers, faculty members to utilize this platform to come up with several innovative collaborative projects as well. Definitely, who knows, you might land in a scenario where the whole nation is up to you. Okay, so I would rather suggest, the third wave has just started, so it is high time that we can, take the education to the next level. There should be useful short-term training programs, long-term training programs. There should be real virtual, symposia, conferences as well. So definitely we can do the knowledge sharing process. Of course, it is going to kindle some interest in the young budding scientists. I think the students of today would have benefited a lot out of this webinar. Definitely, they might be thinking about pursuing YAML, tiny YAML, auto YAML as their career. So this YAML as well as artificial intelligence, if you are trying to implant this in a IoT, definitely it is going to promise several projects, several worth national as well as international projects as well. And once again, I should like to thank the management, Christ College of Science and Management, and of course, I would never forget my management as well, for giving me the opportunity to explore, to share the knowledge transfer process, especially this pandemic also. Thank you.
Now, the session is open for discussion. Participants are requested to ask your queries through a chat box or by using raise hand option.
Participants, if you have any queries, any clarifications, you can ask me.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Good evening.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am.
Actually, I want to know about deep learning, in which deep learning comes in the area of AI.
I'm not sure about your question, ma'am. Deep learning, yes, of course, it comes in AI. Deep learning
Yeah.
is a
In
separate.
which part? In which part the deep learning is common in AI?
Deep learning comes in, especially in convolutional neural networks, where we try to supervise the unsupervised.
Yeah, that's only I am asking.
Yeah,
Deep learning is combined with the neural networks
neural
only,
networks.
no?
Yeah. Convolutional neural networks.
Yeah. But it cannot be included within AI, no?
Yes, it can be included as a sub part, but it cannot be a main part.
Okay,
So
nice.
just,
Thank you.
yeah.
Because I had a confusion that
Okay.
machine learning and deep learning
No, no,
will
no. They
be.
are different. They are different. They are different.
Yeah, nice. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, there was one question from Gagan. AI in agriculture. Yes, of course. AI has already come up in agriculture. So you can browse through several topics. The monitoring, automatic, semi-automatic monitoring of crops. The scarecrows, even for intelligently, classifying, getting the the materials, the raw materials even, and how we are going to process this the materials, and how we are going to get the output out of it. So there are several smart IoT devices which are doing this AI in agriculture. Okay, so it has already come into effect. Are there any more queries? Data scientist and data analyst. I would rather say data scientist and data analyst. Okay, data scientist and data analysts are quite different. Data scientist just process the information, but data analyst has to take over all other regression analysis, make all other classification, do all other recognition features in order to better analyze the results and get the relevant output. So when you consider a data scientist and a data analyst, data scientist is a general term, whereas data analyst is a strong word where you get the statistic information out of it. What? Yeah, there was a. Okay. Gagan has come up with one question. Dhanush has come up with another question. I would like to answer the Gagan's question at last. Okay, Dhanush, going to on a higher level of AI won't damage the creativity of human. Okay, because this is what we feed the human beings. That's what I told you. The technology of AI will never disturb the human beings unless they are lazy. Okay, so if we are less creative and if we make the machines do all the work, sometimes the creativity of the machines might overtake the creativity of us, and we might become lazy. They will take our place, and we will instinctively or maybe naturally we will vanish. Okay, so that's the case. Okay, so how better is AI to adapt for non-computer science students who are not good in coding? So actually, when you are transforming from coding to low coding to no coding, okay, you should first of all understand the coding procedures. Actually, coding is not a big max subject. Okay, it's not a complex subject. Okay, the thing is that you should understand the analysis. Okay, suppose maybe let us take in the case an electronics and communication engineer tries to land up in a software platform. Definitely it is possible. Okay, an electrical and electronics engineer, if he tries to land up in AI, it is definitely possible. So only thing, if he or she is able to visualize, and if he is able to make some animations out of it, definitely we can come up with several useful analysis where we can have no code technology to implement the AI. Okay, so definitely I would rather say AI is not only for computer professionals, but it is for everybody. Even for a civil architect to visualize what he wants to, he should know AI. Okay. Gagan, your personal point of view, do you like to live in a medieval living or complete AI? Okay. As for me, I like to live in both the environments. Okay, the living environment where I try to interact with people, crack jokes, entertain. Okay, this is one part. Okay, the next part, when it comes to job, okay, maybe I can go with the virtual world. Okay, I can interact. Maybe, for example, if I'm trying to build a AI project, okay, I can virtually interact with my virtual friends. Even I can get the idea out of it. I can make some new innovative project, and for that I need a virtual world. Okay, but I need 50-50. Okay, a real world as well as imaginary world. So what I would suggest is use the virtual world only to the need. Okay, not to the maximum, else it becomes meaningless. Can we expect AI in farming and everyone can afford it? Yes, of course. Definitely AI will become very, very cheap. It will be very economical as well. And definitely over the years, it will come up. Imagine the data plans of today. Okay, like the data plans have come up really cheap. Even the mobile has come really cheap even. Okay, but very recently the plans are becoming high. But the thing is that we are using it often. That's the reason there is a hike in price. But definitely there will be a AI device for every poor man. Okay, so it will come in practice. Do we expect end to human race from AI? That's what again this question I should tell you. This it is all about how you handle a device. Okay, so you handle it with care. You keep limitations. So definitely it will have its own part. But if you are relying too much on the machines, it is going to upgrade and it is going to replace us. So any more questions? Any more questions? Yeah, that's what I think. I'm not sure. Send a direct message. Can AI take over the world? Will AI steal our jobs? That's what I'm telling you. The question is being repeated. Okay, so it's not about stealing the jobs. It's how you make it. How you have to be smart when it comes to device. So your competitor is not your neighbor. Your competitor is your machine. So you have to constantly upgrade it. ATM, an example of artificial intelligence. ATM is not AI. I would rather say ATM is not AI. But there are several AI devices that you can implant in your bedroom, even in your classroom, even in your job, industry, even. So definitely there are much more smarter devices these days. So are there any more questions? Any more questions for the participants?
So another one question, sir.
Yes.
Actually, in what connectivity is between virtual machines and AI? If virtual machines are possible, then it can replace our computer system and everything else.
I didn't get your question. Yes, of course, there might be a chance that the computers can replace us. Now, what is your question about? I'm sorry.
Actually, virtual machines and AI are in connection, or similar branches are.
Okay. Now, virtual machines and connections. Again, can you repeat? I'm not.
Virtual machines can be implemented with the help of AI.
Virtual machines can be implemented. Actually, virtual machines only with the AI technology. It has come up to the reach. It has come up to our reach. Okay, so Alexa.
That is, it can replace.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
can
it is.
replace our.
Yeah, it can replace maybe 50% of our jobs, but remaining 50% is how you handle it. Okay, like for
Okay.
example, we have a robot to empty the dustbin. We have a robot maybe to do some repetitive tasks, but don't use robots often. Like other tasks, like some planning analysis, whatever you do it for the company, whatever you compare the net search results, you can compare with your fellow competitors
Recording
even,
stopped.
and you can come up with several innovative ideas. That should be your goal. That should be your responsibility, but not the responsibility of your robot. So it is how about
Yeah,
planning. It is planning. It is how it is all about planning. How you take into
that is
what are the roles and responsibilities that you should take, and what are the things, what are the routine activities that a robot should do.
automatic robots,
Yeah.
automated robots.
Yeah.
Nice, thank you, sir.
Okay. Any more questions? Any more queries? Any more queries?
Kalpana? Yes, ma'am. I think there are no more queries. Thank you, sir, for sharing your knowledge with us. Now, let's proceed with the validatory function. God, our creator, has stored within our minds and personalities great potential strength and ability. Prayer helps us tap and develop their powers, said Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Thus, let's all invoke God's presence with a silent prayer.
Excuse me.
Yeah, yes.
It is B.R. Kavita, Vivekananda College of Arts and Science. Actually, the 2 day session is very nice, and we. I hope all of us gain much more knowledge and a very good idea about artificial intelligence and everything. And each and every step, what is explained by the guest is so superb and very informative to all. We enjoy the session, and also we gain much more knowledge from your session. It's very extremely what to say, extremely gives immense pleasure to be in the virtual international conference. Wonderful, sir. Nice. Mr. Tangadunai, sir, is very nice. You had spoken much more deeper into AI, and we also gained much more knowledge. And we are very eager to spend the timing with a personality like you. Nice. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your words. That was so great to hear. Now, I welcome wholeheartedly Reverend Father Jens George CMI, Principal, Christ College of Science and Management, to give the valedictory address.
Good evening, everyone. Respected resource person, Dr. Christo Ananth, Head of the Department of Science, Mr. Vijay Kumar, Mr. Tangudurai, Director, Center for Extended Learning, dear teachers, participants, and dear friends. As the principal of Christ College of Science and Management, I express my heartfelt gratitude to each and everyone for participating in the 2-day session webinar on artificial intelligence and machine learning. As some of you were discussing, and the interaction that you had, I understand that it was a fruitful session that we had, and everyone were curiously listening to Dr. Christo Ananth, and I think Dr. Christo Ananth had done justice to this topic, and he has very well explained the basics, and he took us from the basics to the higher level of artificial intelligence. I think we have to learn more and more about artificial intelligence, because we have Dr. Christo Ananth with us in future as well. So maybe this sort of webinars can happen frequently, so that we can discuss things, we can learn things together. I think that was the beauty of the webinar that we had these 2 days. And I really thank Dr. Christo for your time, your preparation. It was really wonderful, and you prepared it very simple so as to understand for our students as well. I think our students, those participated in the webinar, will clearly understood the concept, basic concepts of artificial intelligence and machine learning. And really, we thank you for spending a lot of time with us. And the HOD of Science Department of Christ College of Science and Management and Director, Center for Extended Learning, Mr. Tangudurai, and Mrs. Malarviji for coordinating this event extraordinarily well. And I take this opportunity to thank each and every participant for your valuable time. I know it's in the evening. You had a lot of work. You had to spend a lot of time with your family and friends, and for other purposes also. But you took initiative and interest in listening to this webinar all through. I thank each and every one of you, and we hopefully meet yet another day without much delay, and we will have these kind of sessions frequently so that we can learn together and grow together. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Father, for your valuable words. Gratitude gives us happiness. Now, I welcome Ms. Malarviji, Assistant Professor, Department of Science, Christ College of Science and Management, to give the vote of thanks.
Respected Father, Chief Guest, and dear participants, a very warm good evening to all. What we learn with pleasure, we never forget. It's my privilege to propose the vote of thanks on this special occasion. I, Malarviji, on behalf of the Science Department and Center for Extended Learning, Christ College of Science and Management, extend my heartfelt thanks to our resource person, Dr. Christo Ananth, Professor, for spending valuable time in sharing his expertise with us. Your knowledge, enthusiasm, and positive spirit helped us to make our time both productive and informative. Thank you, sir. We are grateful to our beloved Principal, Reverend Father Jins George CMI, and Vice Principal, Reverend Father Eben Francis CMI, for their unflinching support and encouragement. Thank you, Fathers. Our profound gratitude to Mr. Tangudurai S., Director, Center for Extended Learning, for organizing this webinar on artificial intelligence and machine learning in the international level. Thank you, sir. I extend my thanks to Mr. Vijay Kumar K., Head, Department of Science, for his constant support. Our sincere thanks to all the heads, faculties, and students from various colleges and schools in and around the globe, including Vagdevi Vilas College, C College, Ebenezer College, GFGC College, Lady Velangani College, Chaitanya University, Garden City University, Perry Institute of Technology, Rock College of Engineering and Technology, the Oxford College of Engineering, MAM Arts and Science College, Siddharth Institute of Engineering and Technology, New Horizon College, Bishop Cotton Women's Christian College, CEG Anna University Chennai, VSB College of Engineering, Technical Campus, Tech Chennai, JKK Nadraj College of Arts and Science, Jamal Mohammed College, Hiranandini Foundation School, Ramakrishna Mission Vivekananda College, Nehru Arts and Science College, Coimbatore Institute of Technology, Dechang Seat Automotive India Private Limited, and Samarkand State University, Russia, for their active participation. Thank you all participants for your support and cooperation. Lastly, I would shower my gratitude to all the HODs and my fellow teachers for their presence. Thank you all for staying connected throughout the session. Thank you all. I remind.
Thank you, ma'am, for your words of gratitude. Now, I request all the participants to turn on your videos for the photo session. Hopefully, the photo session is completed. Thank you all. Now, I request all the participants to rise for the college anthem. Thank you all for your support and for making this webinar a successful one. Please do fill the feedback form which is given in the chat box. Artificial intelligence is the future, and the future is here. Please don't forget to fill the feedback form which is given in the chat box. Participation certificates will be issued within 2 days. Once again, I thank everyone, and I hope we will get the same support from everyone in the future webinars too. Thank you all. Stay home, stay safe. This is Kalpana signing off.